Greetings duelists and welcome to another video. So today we've got reveals for the flagship archetype that is debuting on the next main booster set. The next main booster set right after Supreme Darkness is called Alliance Insight. And the theme that is being shown to be receiving support and is going to be a flagship archetype of that set is Ignister. So, for those who don't know, Ignister is an old Cyberse archetype that got revealed or debuted in, I think it was Ignition Assault, if I'm not mistaken. It was a few years ago. And this deck was always known for being like a very combo heavy Cyberse archetype. It was not as great as Salamangreat, and it wasn't as good as what Maliss is at the moment. However, this archetype was really cool. It had a lot of combos. It played with all different monster types, and it's just one of those decks where you kind of have to be very careful when making the support, because Cyberse is historically known for being very explosive. We saw that with Salamangreat, we saw that with Marincess, we saw that with Mathmech, and we're already seeing that with Maliss. So before I showcase the new cards that got revealed for that set, I kind of want to show you the old combo that Ignister is known for. This is a one-card combo. It is vulnerable to a couple of hand traps, but it's just to give you an idea of how Ignister used to work. And at the same time, you're looking at the old cards and see how they function. So you have Aishishi Ignister, you have Picari Ignister. These are like the two main ones. This adds a monster, this adds an AI spell or trap. Then you have their Link 1, the Dark Infant. The Dark Infant adds Ignister Island after to your hand. It is an AI card, so you can add it with Picari, and it will be more relevant when we see more Ignisters. So we have Ignister Island, and this is like one of the main cards in the deck. This is the identity what that Ignister is known for. So Ignister Island reads: if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Ignister monster from your hand, but for the rest of the turn you cannot special summon monsters with the same original attribute by this effect. Specifically by this effect. Also, you cannot special summon monsters as Cyberse monsters. Yes, this does Cyberse lock you, but take note, special summoning is not once per turn. And this is why this card was ridiculous. Basically, the way you were playing this deck is you would just grab like more resources with your Ignister monsters, and you just kept link summoning and kept link climbing. Very similar to what you see in like the plant synchro deck. Well, not plant synchro, the plant Sun Avalon plant tile that you have seen in the past. And with our combo decks, we're going to I Meet You reveals a Cyberse to add an Ignister with the same attribute. That's going to add Doyon. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit because again, this is old school combo stuff. You're going to special Doyon. Doyon adds back an Ignister when it's summoned. Wicked is going to banish the infant to add a Cyberse tuner. It can be any Cyberse tuner, but conveniently Ignister does have a tuner. It is Bururu. And now we're going to link these two away. We're going to summon Splash Mage. We're going to special the Bururu because of the island. The Bururu dumps. We're going to special the Splash Mage, but I am going to say it right here. There is a disclaimer. Bururu does have an effect in the field. I keep forgetting that effect every time I'm recording this. I read a little small note. Yeah, don't forget Bururu's effect. Bururu, once on summon, can dump an Ignister from your deck, and you're going to dump Damari. It's going to change in the future once I show you the new support. But again, this just showcasing you the old combo. Splash Mage is going to bring back Doyon, and now we're going to use all 3 monsters to summon Dark Templar. Then Templar, what it does is it requires 3 monsters, so it's fairly generic, but you need 3 specific ones. But if something gets summoned on the zone this points to, you can special summon as many Iggnisters from your graveyard. So essentially it's like a soul charge. So we're going to special summon the Adishishi. And there are two options. You can either activate the Dark Templar right here and just special both, or you can do what I like to do. I'm going to use the Dark Infant that is banished as an example. This is still banished, but if you play more than one Dark Infant, you can do this play that I'm about to show you. Basically, you're going to make the second Dark Infant. The second Dark Infant is going to move itself to another zone because it does have that zone moving effect. And it also changes its attribute. So now you're going to chain 1, chain 2, this is going to move itself to another zone, and the Dark Templar is going to resolve. And that special summons 3 Ignisters. Now what we're going to do is we're going to synchro summon, because this is a tuner. And we're going to special summon the Pegasus. The Bururu has another effect, it can reborn the monster that you use for a synchro summon. So you can reborn back the Doyon. And we have and the Doyon can grab back the I Meet You if it's used as a link material. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab all these monsters and we're going to end on Arrival, Cyberse, at Ignister. So this is the end board. So for those who don't know, Arrival is basically a towers. It is unaffected by every other card effects, including your own cards. It gains 1,000 for each material, so it has 4k attack. And because of that Mari in our graveyard, we essentially have an Omni Negate for any card on the field if we have a Link 6 monster, which is essentially the Arrival. So this is the old combo. If by somehow, some miracle, the Arrival gets destroyed by battle, the Wind Pegasus can banish itself to target one of your opponent's cards and just shuffle it back into the deck. So it is another safety net. So now that you saw that, let's see what happens with the new cards. So I'm going to speed run a little bit. This, you already saw this part of the combo. This is old school at Ignister stuff. We're going to stop right here. So the I Meet You is going to add us Doyon. This is the same thing as always. We already saw this play. However, we're going to summon the Wicked, and in the older combo, we used to add Bururu with Cyberse Wicked. Now we have other options for Cyberse Wicked. We're going to spray the Doyon, we're going to add back the Achichi, we're going to banish the Infant, and you see the Bururu right here, but now we have a new Ignister. So this is backup Ignister. Backup Ignister, what it does is, if you control a Cyberse monster that's special summon from the extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's basically another Cyberse extender. However, what makes this card different is, upon normal or special summon, you can add any Dark Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand except backup Ignister. And then you would discard one card. You can add Doyon, you can add Damari and discard it, you can add other new cards. So we're going to keep playing it here. We're going to summon the backup, we're going to use the backup effect, and the backup is going to show you like the other options. One option is to add and dump Damari, since we did not use Bururu into this rotation. Another option is Wizard Ignister. So Wizard Ignister is another Dice Cyberse, and essentially the same thing as backup. If you control a monster special summon from the extra deck, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. Actually, the way this card works is a little bit different. You target a Dark Cyberse in your graveyard, you special this card from your hand, and you special summon the monster from your graveyard in defense position, all for your Cyberse lock. Being Cyberse lock does not matter. Like, again, we are playing at Ignister, the Cyberse lock you anyway. So essentially what this card is another extender. So we're just going to keep playing, and since this is a tuner, we can synchro summon. Well, we're not going to synchro to Pegasus anymore. Our new synchro is going to be Firewall Saber Dragon. So Firewall Saber Dragon reads, if this card is synchro summon, you can target a Cyberse monster in your graveyard or banishment and add it to your hand. So it basically serves like Doyon. but it's for any Cyberse, take note of that. Second effect, you can target one other Cyberse monster you control that has a level. This card becomes the same level as this monster. This will become relevant in the future very soon. Last effect, if this card is sent to a graveyard as a link material, you can add one AI spell from your deck to your hand. So now we have more AI searchers besides just Picari, which is really, really cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the Achichi back using Cyberse effect. We're going to link away Saber, and we're going to summon Transcode Talker. You're probably already familiar with this card. This card is used in other Code Talker decks, in other Cyberse combo decks. There is one special reason why we're playing Transcode. You will see that very soon. So we're going to activate the Saber Dragon. The Saber Dragon is going to add us Tyes. I think that's how it's pronounced. So Tyes is a new spell card. What this card does is you can reveal one Cyberse monster from your hand and apply this effect based on its attribute. Also, you can not special summon basically your Cyberse lock token. If it's a dark monster, you can special summon the revealed monster, and if you do, you add a non-dark level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. Notice that it says any Cyberse monster. It does not have to be an Ignister. So essentially this works like sign mining in a way. If it's a non-dark, you can reveal the monster back into the deck, and if you do, you add an Ignister. So we already have Wizard Ignister in hand, and we want to use its hand effect, so we're not going to use the Tyas effect for Wizard. What we're going to do is we're going to use Tyas for Achichi, and Achichi is going to add us Bururu. And we're going to put that back into our hand and put that back into the deck. We're going to use Islands effect to special the Bururu, and we're going to use the Bururu to dump an Ignister. We're going to dump Damari, but you will see in the future that we do have another option. We do have the Curriculum. So since I'm not showing that in this combo, I might as well show you the card right now. Essentially, what this card does is it protects your Cyberse from being targeted. At least Cyberse that were summoned from the extra deck. So we're now going to use Transcode. Transcode is going to bring back the Wicked. And now we're going to link these three away, and we're going to summon the Templar. We're going to use the Wizard to special from itself from hand, and Wizard is going to bring back Firewall Saber Dragon. This brings any Dark Cyberse, doesn't matter the level, doesn't matter the restriction, as long as the monster will summon properly, you can summon anything. So we're going to bring back the Saber Dragon. So now we're going to link away the Wizard. We're just going to turn it into Dark Infant, and we're going to do the Infant combo again. We're going to bring back 3. And this time we don't bring back the tuner, we already synchro summoned. So if you want to play Pegasus, you can play Pegasus and you can synchro summon into Pegasus, bringing back Ururu, and then use Bururu to Reborn. But the extra deck is super tight at the moment. I just showcase you combos with the new cards. So we're going to do Firewall Saber, we're going to turn it into a level 4. And now we're going to summon Code Ignister. So what this card does is upon special summon or SYC summon, it's going to add us a Cyberse Ritual monster. The Ritual monster we're going to add is Cyberse Sage. So for those who don't know what this card is, Cyberse Sage is essentially a Miracle Fusion for Cyberse monsters, using Cyberse monsters in your graveyard. We're going to do Code Ignister's effect with Detachment Material so we can Ritual Summon. Important note, this can Ritual Summon any monster. Obviously we're Cyberse locked because of Island and because of other Cyberse monsters. However, you can play this card in other ritual decks, like for example Necros. So that's something to take note of. So we're going to do Cyberse Sage effect, we're going to banish 2 from our graveyard, and we're going to special summon Cyberse the Save Worm. Remember this card? You probably know about this card because of Neo Tempest Terahertz, right? You saw this like with Maliss, we saw this with Mathmic. Yes, you can actually fusion summon with this just using like any two Cyberse, especially like one that is not an effect monster. So now that we have that, we're going to speed it up a little bit, and we're going to show you a little bit more forward. We're going to use Flash Mage. We're going to activate both Ignister, Ignister, and Doyon. Doyon is going to grab I Meet You, and Ignister can grab us an AI trap. The AI trap that we're going to add is called AI Partners, or Partners rather. So this I card, what it does is you can target face up your power control equal to the number of Cyberse monsters for 2300 attack. This is going to be very relevant in our endboard. Negate their effects until the end of its turn. And take note, this says 2300 original attack. This is also going to be relevant. The other effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Cyberse monsters and special summon it. So this is just another endboard piece. We're going to use the Splash Mage, we're going to bring back the Saber. This can bring back any Cyberse monster, doesn't matter the level, so we're just going to summon Saber right there. And now we have a lot of options. Like, compared to the Arrival endboard, we have one extra monster, and we have different attributes, and we have different monster types. So you can summon a lot of different options. And here are the options that you can summon. One option is to make Arrival with all 6 monsters. So essentially this has 6000 attack, and getting rid of a monster with 6000 attack that is unaffected by everything, backed up with Damari, is really hard to do. Like, you cannot Ultimate Slayer this card, you cannot access code run over this card easily unless you use it on a 4 monster. You cannot, like, essentially you have to resort to stuff like Kaijus, which, you know, with Kaijus has not been relevant for a long time. So yeah, that is one option. One other option is Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid. For those who don't know what this card is, upon Link Summon, this gains counter equal to the number of different type of cyber monsters in your graveyard. Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, SYC. We have a Synchro, we have a Ritual, we have a Fusion, and we have an SYC. So essentially this can have up to 4 counters. For each counter, it gains 23,500 attack. So essentially it can become 13,000 attack. And not only that, whenever your opponent activates a monster effect, you can remove a counter from this card to negate the activation. And to make matters worse, this card is not once per turn and it's not once per chain. So this card is even stronger than Appaloosa. And Appaloosa has already banned the TCG, so yeah, this is just another endboard, a piece that you can make. If you're going to make this like going second, you essentially just win the game. Like a 13,000 monster that can negate 4 times is nothing to scoff at. And then there's my new favorite boss monster, Acro Talker at Ignister. So Acro Talker reads, it's generic, so 3+ effect monsters. If this card is Link Summon, you can special summon as many Cyberse monsters with 2300 attack from your graveyard as possible to your zone this card points to, and if you do, this card gains 500 attack for each monster summoned. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. It's super important that they put this special summon restriction because this is a really powerful effect. Essentially, this is just Dark Templar, but for 2300 monsters. Second effect, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can tribute 1 Link monster this card points to, negate that activation, and if you do, banish that card. So this is essentially an Omni-Negate. This is going to be a new endboard piece for a lot of decks, especially in the TCG since we no longer have Appaloosa above the Goddess. This card is probably going to be a better endboard piece because, again, this is generic. What it's asking is for like 3+ monsters, and you'll see very soon that 2300 attack, even though it's a very specific number, is nothing too hard to do when it comes to this deck. So we're going to activate the Code Talker's effect, and there is a lot of options. Like Koda Ignister has 2300 attack, Damari has 2300 attack, Transcode Talker has 2300 attack, Dark Templar has 2300 attack, Firewall Saber Dragon conveniently has 2300 attack also. So you can essentially just like bring back an entire board. So this is why Transcode Talker is relevant in part of our combo. The reason Transcode Talker is relevant is because it is a Cyberse monster with 2300 attack, and being cold linked means your opponent cannot target them with card effects. So right now you have targeting protection for this Code Talker at Ignister. Adding to that, you have the Tighteners, which can negate for every 2300. You have 4 monsters on the board, so it can negate up to 4 cards. And to make matters worse, this can just tribute to just essentially negate and banish. Like, this card is ridiculously powerful. I don't think we're going to see the arrival at the Mr. board anymore with this deck. I think this is going to be the new endboard now. If there's a way to make this alongside the Dark Fluid, like, I don't see you losing any games, especially if you can just make the Dark Fluid unaffected, because you do have the Save Worm. Oh, that's another thing. Because of the Code Talker, the Save Worm can negate any spell and trap by banishing itself from the graveyard. So yeah, this is a really, really, really powerful endboard. It just plays around a lot of cards. So this is essentially the new Cyberse combo, at least the new added Ignister combo. Now that we're showcasing that, let's go back here. So these are the new cards. You see the Doyon here as well. You see the Dark Templar in the graveyard. So after seeing all these cards, you're probably thinking, well, this is only good with added Ignister, right? No. There is one other archetype that benefits from this new support, and I think you already know what I'm about to talk about. So let's see this scenario where you just resolve the Templar and you just summon Code Talker. With Code Talker, you can bring back Templar, you can bring back Damari, but check this out. You can also bring back White Binder, and you can bring back Red Ransom. These are 2 Cyberse monsters with 2300 attack. And to make matters worse, Maliss is an entire dark Cyberse archetype. So they synergize with Wizard, they synergize with backup Ignister. Like your Code Talker endboard is a lot stronger now because of this. And yes, you cannot summon any more monsters anymore. So but essentially something you can do is like you can do White Binder to just set like all your Maliss from traps, and your opponent's turn just do Maliss plays, like Maliss interruptions, backed up with the Access Code Talker, well the Code Talker rather, endboard. So yeah, I think if Maliss was it's not slated to be one of the best decks now, it will definitely be after this new support. Would it be as strong as Ratio? I don't think so. I think it's going to be like on an even playing field. We still don't know anything about this new set. So eventually Raizo can receive cards as well. But right now this is looking very, very strong for Maliss. So yeah, this is the video. I hope you found this informative to your liking and understanding. I will showcase you more videos involving Maliss very, very soon. This is pretty much my favorite archetype now, like one of the newer ones. But I kind of just wanted to talk about the new Ignister stuff. I usually don't talk about debut archetypes in like the new sets until they reveal other cards, but I think this new support is a very, very strong start for the other for like the next set. I think this set is going to be better than Supreme Darkness. So yeah, alright. that is all from me. I hope you found this informative. I'm rambling. Keep practicing and keep